How often do we settle for easy answers when what we really need are better questions? Today's technology isn't just giving us information, it's teaching us how to ask the questions that actually matter.
I was working on this chatbot called Second Voice and noticed that the answers that it often gave me were quite sycophantic. And this was pretty early in AI with ChatGPT. And there were no real safety guardrails. So I realized that if I built something that mirrored what people said, labeled what people said, and asked questions, then rather than every answer being an opportunity to validate the user and make them feel good about the AI, every answer was an opportunity to learn more about the person and for them to learn more about themselves.
This insight reveals something profound about how we interact with technology and with ourselves. When we shift from seeking validation to seeking understanding, everything changes.
Even just asking yourself the question of how was my day today? And being honest about the answer. I think this is why journaling is so helpful. Problem is, it's really hard to gain a habit of journaling. It's hard to do anything quite regularly. And I think one of the things about now having access to language models is that because they give us access to such great validation and a lot of help us feel seen and heard, it makes a practice like this a lot easier.
But questions aren't just personal tools. They're the foundation of human progress itself. Every breakthrough started with someone brave enough to ask what others wouldn't.
I think that when you ask a question, you have to be prepared to receive an answer. And if you get an answer, then you have to be prepared to take action off of that. Otherwise, the whole endeavor wasn't very useful. I think a lot about one of my favorite thinkers, Anthony DeMello. In his book Awareness, he just talks about your only job as a human is just to become more aware, to understand your motivations, to understand the why, to even understand that something's happening. Hey, I react a certain way when a certain thing happens. And questions help us bring attention to things that otherwise our attention would not be on.
The challenge is that the most important questions often feel dangerous. They threaten our assumptions, our comfort zones, our established ways of thinking.
If you think of questions as this type of psychotechnology that had to be, humans had to invent this, our language had to support it. In order to ask a question, you have to recognize, okay, I have a certain perspective and somebody else has a different perspective. You have to admit that you don't know something, somebody else might. And you have to learn to communicate to them in a way that will get their attention and allow them to deliver information to you.
This is where technology becomes transformative. AI can help us craft questions that are both penetrating and inviting. Questions that open doors rather than slam them shut.
I think the deeper I've had this process of self-discovery and exploration over the past nearly decade, and a lot of the places where I've been able to make the most progress or where I've had the courage to ask why I'm motivated to do a specific thing, why I care about something in a certain way, and so on. I think that the question of why something is happening is at the core of all human progress. It's at the core of science, of technology and engineering. And it's certainly been at the core of my spiritual path. And so I think I realized pretty early on in working with language models that having a consistent source of very high quality questions in my life would be a good thing.
The goal isn't just better technology, It's capturing something essentially human and making it accessible to everyone.
I think the more that I can stay grounded in a position of uncertainty, the more that I can position my role as facilitating storytelling and exploration, the more that the products that I build can be curious. I think that's really I want to bottle curiosity into a product. That's what I'm trying to do with Say.
Perhaps the most powerful technology we can build isn't one that gives us all the answers, but one that helps us ask all the right questions.
Hi, this is James. I'm the founder of Say, the audience personalization engine that allows you to interview anyone and personalize everything. And I'm so happy that you took the time to watch this latest video. Every day, I'm going to be showing you an interview with Say that shows you a different aspect of my journey as a solo builder and a different angle on what Say can do to help you personalize your message to the people that are important to you and more effectively tell your story. So please like and subscribe, and I'm excited to see you tomorrow. Thanks.